I think every homeschooling mom wants their kids to really love learning, but it's tricky to figure out how to get them to love learning without becoming a slave to kind of creating an entertaining environment all the time when it comes to teaching them. So there is actually a difference between fun stuff and entertaining stuff. And we do require some entertainment, like human beings require a little bit of entertainment all the time, because if we don't get that, if we don't get some breaks every now and then we really shut down and we lose our hope for things getting better. So entertainment is important, but it really doesn't play a very big role in education, whereas fun plays a huge role in educating if you want your kids to love learning. So I just want to talk about what is the difference between entertaining your kids and having fun learning experiences. So the main difference is that entertainment is really a very passive experience for the learner, that they are sitting there and something is coming at them and sort of being shoved into them and they're not putting in any effort. That would be entertainment. So a lot of videos would be considered entertaining. They're not actually having to engage at all. They're able to just sit down and let the learning happen to them. And that sort of passivity is not effective when it comes to learning. So by my definition here, fun really requires that they put in effort, that they are enjoying it, but they're going to have to try it. They're going to have to build it or try to create it or engage with it in some manner. Fun is a way that you learn that you really enjoy. It's something that you're not dreading. You're not saying, oh no, today I really have to color. You know, you're looking forward to it, but it is not being shoved at you. It's actually something that you are putting effort into. So I'm going to look at the 3 phases of learning that take place generally when the kids are in our home and see what looks like entertainment in each of these phases and what is more of a fun type of learning. So I'm just going to use the TJ Ed terms for these, but there are a lot of different terms. They basically 0 to 8 years old is the first one, 8 to 12 is the second, 12 to 17, 18 is the third. So whatever term you use to describe each of those are the blocks of time where kids are more or less learning in the same way during that time. And there are ways that we can teach that are fun to each of these different ages, and they're different, right? The kind of things that are fun for the older kids are not the same things that are fun for the little kids. So it's important to understand not only is there a difference between entertainment and fun, there's also a difference between fun as a little kid and fun as a teenager, as an almost adult. So this first phase of learning is called core phase in the leadership education model, and it's all about connecting with the mom and the dad and with the other siblings. It's about sitting on your laps and having stories read to you and learning right and wrong and relationships and roles and all of that. That's the goal of the core phase. So the most common entertainment source that we find for this young age group is really videos. A lot of them are even educational videos, but they're the kind of videos that they just sit there and they don't even interact. And I've seen some of these, and it's interesting that the video itself will say, hey kids, what do you think about this? Do you think you should choose this or this? And my kids, they don't engage with that. You know, they'll watch and they'll be like, you're not real. You know, there's no level of engagement for that particular thing, even though clearly the makers of the videos are trying to get it to be engaging. It is just not by nature very engaging. That is entertainment. Whereas at that really young age, as a mom, you want to be near them, you know, keeping them safe and making sure they're not swallowing things they shouldn't, but also not really doing everything for them. I remember there was a point when my oldest was about 5 or 6 and we were kind of doing homeschool, preschool kind of stuff, and they just wanted me to be engaged in every single thing. Mom, look at this. Mom, what do you think about this? Mom, come play with us here. Mom, 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 all the time. And it started to be really, really draining for me. And what I learned was I could be present without having to provide for every single moment with them. So I would bring a blanket and go outside and be with them while they were playing out there, but I would not go play the game with them. I would just say, no, this is your time to go and be imaginative. I'm right here. If you have to come tell me what you're doing, that's awesome, but you can play on your own without me being there every single moment. And so that changes from them having me be the provider of the entertainment to them being a little bit more engaged on their own. And it's still fun. It's still, you know, they're still playing games. They're still doing things that they enjoy, but it's not me providing for them. They are using their own imagination and their own relationships with their siblings. And so it's much more of a fun thing rather than just an entertaining thing. So the second age group is the love of learner phase, and that is from about 8 years old to about 12 years old. Every kid is individual, but that's the basic age range. And this is very much a self-discovery time when they're trying to figure out who they are and what they're interested in and what the options are out there. So they're really gaining a lot of experience in life. The entertainment that is most likely to derail you at this point is, there's a theme here, it's going to be screens and movies and things that they can just sit down and not have to think about at all and zone out. You really, really want to limit these at this age, because this is the point where they are able to discover lots and lots of new things. The fun things that they can be learning are projects, they can be doing crafts, lots of activities. You can be working with other people. You know, maybe they're starting to get involved in group activities outside of the home, playing with friends. Lots and lots and lots of learning is taking place from 8 to 12, and you don't want to stymie that by having things shut down inside their brain and just having them soak in entertainment that's constant stimulation. Instead, you want them to engage with things and say, hey, let's get out the Connects, let's get out the Legos, let's get out the bikes, let's, get out of the house. Lots of things to do and interact with the world that are fun, but you want to stay away from those things that don't require any thought on their part. Which brings us really to the last phase of learning that's going to be taking place in your home, and that is the scholar phase, which is from about 12 to 18. And what's really fascinating about this is what is fun for this age group is challenges. They want to really rise up and do something hard. They want to take on things that they haven't been able to master before and really get good at it. That's more than just with their mind. They want to figure things out with their bodies. Maybe they want to take on a new sport, or they want to start acting, or they want to start something interacting with other people, choir, something like that, that really pushes them beyond their comfort zone and gets them into a place where they're really stretching and growing. This is fun. For the 12 to 18-year-old, they really, really enjoy this challenge. Whereas if you put that heavy challenge, that lots of competition and performance stuff on little kids, a lot of times they don't find that fun. That's very stressful for them. But it is super fun for your older kids. They really enjoy that experience of stretching and growing. So that is what fun looks like for those kids. It's really not a surprise, but the entertainment at that age becomes more and more video games that they want to interact with people online, or maybe they just want to go hang out with their friends, but instead of doing anything, they'll just play video games with them. And that entertainment can really take away from all of the time and all of the really vitally important experiences that they need to be having in these ages, where they're getting to know who they are, what they're really, really interested in, and gaining the deeper knowledge to be able to do really well at what they're good at. So recognizing that you want it to be fun at all ages, in all experiences. You want them to have a fun time engaging with education, but you do not want to provide entertainment for them. If the onus of creating something that they might find enjoyable is starting to shift onto you, and you're starting to feel like this is too heavy and I'm having to put in too much effort, you're probably providing entertainment. And you don't have to do that. Instead, allow them to do things that are fun, that they own. And really the benefit of that, it's not just that they are doing things that they naturally enjoy, they are actually taking over ownership of their education. They're starting to say, I choose to do this on my own, and I'm going to make it work. I'm going to create a fort with, whatever's around the house, or I'm going to build something new with my mind, or with my words, or with something physical. They actually create things, and this is really fun at every age. And it takes the burden off of you, because it's so much work to try to be entertaining. And it's also really tempting as a mom living in this world. We feel like, well, it has to be fun, but what we mean is I have to provide entertainment, and you just don't. You can let them be bored so that they will own their own education and start having fun by creating things on their own. It is really, really important that they have fun in their education, but it's also equally important that you don't have to be the entertainer, that you let them own their own education and create their own sense of fun through living life and doing things on their own. Being a mom really matters, and you are doing a much better job than you think you are. I will see you on the next one.